narcolepsy and its biological aspects. So, what is narcolepsy? Well, it is a defensive origin hypercreatine neurons or hormones is the same thing, and they are actually both. This produces an excessive daytime sleepiness that forces you to take naps during the day. This normally comes alongside cataplexy. So, how do you lose a narcolepsy? So first of all, you need to sleep a lot during the day. Is You need to do it. You need to take naps. You need to do it. It's something that they just happen. It's actually the most common aspect now. You just fall asleep, and well, it's similar. Now, cataplexy. Cataplexy, I will explain that a little bit later. But it's also a part, you have to have cataplexy to suffer from narcolepsy in most cases. 90% of the cases have cataplexy, where you can still suffer from narcolepsy if you don't have cataplexy, but it's very weird. Also, the deficiency of force neurons, as I speak before, causes this. So, you should have a deficiency of this to have a diagnosed narcolepsy. Also, rapid eye movement during sleep is something that can't be seen by normal eye. You have to have a test to see this. And it's basically it was when you're asleep, your eyes move a lot. And the second, you have to enter REM state during naps. The REM state is the deepest part of sleep. You normally don't enter this state and at naps. You need to take a time during your sleep, and at that moment during your sleep, you enter REM state during a few hours. This normally doesn't happen to people who have narcolepsy, but with people with narcolepsy, it happens. So now I'm going to talk about cataplexy. Cataplexy, I'm going to keep it simple, is a sudden muscle weakness. It's the definition. A person with episode of cataplexy can be walking and suddenly their muscles give up. It's something that from the statements I hear from videos on the internet it feels bad because you lose the control of your body. It's like when you're working out, your muscles just get to failure and you can just use it anymore and it's like super weak. It's that feeling, but at sudden moments. So now I'm gonna talk about some famous persons and characters that have narcolepsy. First of all, Jamie Kimmel, a famous TV presenter. Next, the famous ring of Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, had narcolepsy. And the character of the boss movie, the second Black Noir. So now I'm going to talk about orexin neurons. The orexin neurons are the main cause for narcolepsy. And of course, no, the thing is, no one knows really know why they are triggered. We know that they promote arousal and suppress REM sleep. And of course, if there's a deficiency of this neuron that also is a hormone, this promote of the REM sleep won't happen. Therefore, there's more likely that you enter REM state during naps. That is what happens to narcolepsy people. So there are actually two types. The type A is more persistent during time and can be measured in the cerebrospinal fluid. It comes with 30 amino acids in contrast with the 28 of orexin B. This has a shorter lifespan, but besides that, they don't have a big difference. Yes, and can be seen in the image. Affect mainly the hypothalamus and produce a big cluster of neurons. So now genetics. Genetics is not the only factor for narcolepsy at any moment. You can be more predisposed to have narcolepsy because of genetics or less predisposed. There are adults that are also increase the risk of narcolepsy, but genetics is never the only cause. Also, there's a certain combination of the two molecular factor that affects your genetics on narcolepsy. So now, the treatment. First off, between the two types of narcolepsy I talked before, that there's the one with cataplexy and without cataplexy, there isn't much difference of a treatment. They aim for the same thing, is that reduce daytime sleepiness and cataplexy. So there are amazing names that I put out because they are actually hard to remember, like Mafidi, Pitoxetan, sodium oxybate, soliramfetol, armdafal, dextroamphetamine, methamphetamine. So the last one is only recommended in adults, so people should take it. And most of these have some drawback. For example, some oxalate, people that is treated with it need to check the visit for narcolepsy problems because it's an central nervous system with 0% and cause a big effect. But it's still good with the good achievements. So the pros outweigh the cons. Now, why is important to understand this? This is very important not only in narcolepsy, but understanding the many factors of biology that affect a certain disease can help you cure it or find ways to make people that suffer from that condition have a normal life. Not only that, but seeing the relationship between many things like cataplexy, the loss of orexin neurons, and entering REM state is also important to understand in narcolepsy as a whole. Because, as I said before, for certain conditions, you cannot just look at one point and say, oh, this is everything that causes. No, you have to look at the whole point, at the whole, and you are probably still missing something. So that's one of the measures you need to understand this. So that's all. Thank you a lot for hearing my video. This is the website I got the information. It's the main website and bastante about DSM, but besides that, here's the links. Thank you very much.